Hey guys, Marty here. Updating you guys with a short video showing what I'm going to be doing for 3.1, the build I'm planning, and I'll talk a bit about how I'm going to transition into this. So this character is just one that I've respect. This is RIP Riftnash, my level 100 in Harbinger Hardcore. That was top 10 in the levels, something like number 9 or number 10. Nothing too crazy, but it was a Cyclone character. I respected over to the bows. And I'm just going to show you guys real quick in a map, and then I'll explain my item choices um, and this tree, and talk a bit about what other trees I've looked into. So this isn't like the fastest clear. I'm not shield charging around at ridiculous rates. I'm not Queen of the Forest rushing around, but this is supposed to be a character that's going to hit level 100 in Abyss League, and we don't, as of now, know the difficulty of Abyss League. It might be crazy hard, it might be really easy, we're just gonna have to wait and see. So this character, I'm trying to make something that's well-rounded, able to do map bosses, able to juice up these beyond maps, because that's really what you want for the 100 push, is being able to do these really big, juicy beyond maps. So yeah, just looking for kind of an all-purposes character, and as you can see, the boss goes down pretty quickly, extremely safely. Um, I have a lot of inspired learning buffs, and that's just going to be part of the character. We're eventually going to be transitioning this into a headhunter once we have the money, if we have the money before we hit 100. If not, for the second character, I might do another bow character where I level it from with bows from the beginning. But I definitely want to try out bows with headhunter, and this was my build that I did second in the Mayhem hardcore race. You can see my rip on that character in another one of my videos. But this is based off of that. I've had a ton of fun with that character, so I wanted to relive it. I wanted to try and give it a little bit more power. I wanted to see how it felt with Inspired Learning, how it felt with Headhunter. Just see if I could push it to the limit. And I think that this has done a pretty good job of that. This is using pretty, mediocre gear with a couple of exceptions. A few of the pieces are quite endgame, but I wanted to test them out. So I'm just going to go over that now. We've got a 6-link lionized glare. I won't be switching into this spec until I have a 6-link lionized glare, lionized fall, the jewel, and a decent quiver and a Comb's Heart or a Belly of the Beast. At that point, I'll be respecting into this. We'll start out without the Dying Sun, which is really big when I can get it, and we'll just kind of transition the character slowly. For this demonstration, I'm not using any damage on my amulet. I'm using Abyss. My rings both don't have flat physical damage on them, and my gloves are not spiked gloves, so we can gain another like 30 or 40% damage by using an amulet, 2 rings with flat fizz, and grip gloves. It'll be a huge damage gain. I'm also currently using Belt of the Deceiver, which I would intend on replacing with Headhunter. When I get a Headhunter, assuming my resists are all close to even, I would just spec out of Acuity and spec into Survivalist if I need to for instances. So this tree I've worked out. I did some trial and error here. Tested out a bit on Path of Building, went into the maps, actually tested out how it felt. And this is what comes up with the most life and the most damage. Basically, we're picking up the Silent Life Wheel, huge survivability gain there. Picking up all the basic crit bow nodes, phase acrobatics just for more survivability. Picking up an Inspired Learning in the Ranger side of the tree. Lionized Fall for Soul Taker and these crit nodes. This allows me to not have to spec into Vitality Void. And then we're just picking up the stuff in the Assassin side of the tree, more crit nodes, more survivability, stuff like that. In 3.1, this build will change because Vol Pact will now be attached right here, so we'll be taking 1 point and putting that into Vol Pact. But otherwise, this character is going to be basically the same. It'll just be stronger in 3.1 because we'll have more Leech. We'll lose the Burl Fervor Leech, but we'll gain the Vol Pact Leech, and I don't have that much regen on this character. It's about 170. So right now, my damage is great. Clear speed's okay. Could use a little bit of work, but it's good enough. And the character's looking really promising. I've got some room to grow. Super excited to try it out. The items I'll be using are Sartanja's, Comb's Heart, Lioness Glare, those rings, the Belt of the Deceiver, Dying Sun, Writhing Jar, Quicksilver of Adrenaline, Diamond Flask of Warding, and a Basalt of Heat. Then just some random rare quiver until I can get a drill neck with +1 arrows eventually. So the plan, and this is subject to change based on how long it takes me to get these items, but I'll be starting out Slayer Sunder, as I did in Mayhem and everything. You know, pathing over to the Ranger and the Marauder, getting all these dual wield and life nodes. And then around level 90, 92, somewhere around there, once I've got my Atlas sort of figured out, I've got a lot of these items in the stash. At that point, we'll be transitioning into this bow build. So it's not going to start out as a bow build. I'm going to try and skip that bow progression so that I can get a better ladder placement. I can earn more currency because I'll hit the higher maps earlier, be able to sell maps, stuff like that. So here's what it looks like in POB for level 98. You know, most of the levels that it's life nodes and stuff that we can cut out, stuff like this right here. You know, cut this right here. You know, mostly life nodes where you can chop off pretty easily. Also, Druidic Right can be cut out, and then you're down to, you know, a level 90, 91 character. But on POB, this is with the damage amulet right here. Lioness Glare, just an average-ish roll, upper end, because that's what I'll be going for. +1 drill neck. I tested out some tornado shot DPS, you know, stuff like that. But our tornado shot, it's looking like 140,000 DPS per arrow with the damage amulet. If we swap that to Bisco's, 116,000 DPS per arrow. And that's with just kind of T1 flat fizz on a ring. This one doesn't even have T1 flat fizz, you know. Tons more damage we can add in here. You know, we can get a headhunter going, stuff like that. We can get way better jewels. These are just mediocre jewels I found. We could get life on both jewels. You know, tons of room to grow this character. I think it's going to go great. I'm interested to see the progression, but that's kind of my ideas for 3.1. I will be pushing in the hardcore trade league. I'm not playing solo self-found for 3.1. I might switch to it at some later point. I also might try out softcore at some later point. But at least for the 100 push, I want to do that on hardcore or hardcore trade league. As for swapping to softcore, that'll be in the future. It's up for grabs. You know, it depends how I'm feeling with the league and stuff, how the trading's going on hardcore. And if I do it, it's mostly going to be to try out the new Elder bosses and stuff if it's too rippy for hardcore. But yeah, again, this is a Slayer. You know, just kind of got all that stuff covered. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Make sure you check out my stream, join my Discord. If you have any questions about the build, leave some comments below. I will be back streaming tomorrow around 5 or 6 p.m. Central in America or Canada. So yeah, I'll be streaming. Hopefully I'll be updating my filter and then just doing a bit more testing with this character, trying it out. You know, maybe try out with a different bow, try out Doomflesh, see if I can make that good. Stuff like that. But yeah, so check me out. Drop some follows. Follow my Twitch if you're new from YouTube. Follow my YouTube if you're new from Twitch. Join my Discord. Come chat with me. Come hang out. And I hope you all have a great night.